So we went out and we talked and we were in the car and things happened there in the airport.
Charlotte.
And yes, not have left my job in Denmark. Suddenly when I texted him on WhatsApp, called him, it was not going through. It was like dead, everything.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of My Story. My name is Yvonne Kawira. Now, the story I'm about to bring to you today is sad, heartbreaking, of a young, lovely lady. She's so beautiful. She fell in love with someone she met in Kenya, a waiter. And then she left her husband for this man. But what he took her through is why we're here today. Because these are some of the things we need to learn right on the onset. Welcome to the show, Charlotte.
Thank you.
Charlotte, tell us where you come from and how long have you been in Kenya?
I come from Denmark,
Okay.
Copenhagen, the capital, like 10 minutes drive outside. And I was happily married and what you said now, yeah.
Right now?
So, yeah, and then I've been going back and forth to Kenya because with my Danish husband we went on safari. In Europe we like to go to Kenya because of the animals, Masai Mara, the Masai culture we think is very exciting. And I had been in the African continent before in Egypt and Morocco, and now I wanted to go to Kenya.
So before you came to Kenya, you had been with your Danish husband for how many years?
Many years, 10, 15 years.
More than 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you came to Kenya, that's when you met your current
Husband, yes.
So tell me how that happened. How was it? Did you come to Kenya with your husband, your Danish husband?
I came with my Danish husband to Kenya, and we were very excited for this trip. We have longed for it because we have traveled Europe and US, so we were very excited to see this place. And we had started in Mombasa first to relax, opposite what you normally do as a tourist. You go the other way. But we had relaxed first, and then we went to Masai Mara, and we had arranged the trip ourselves. So we were picked, and this guy who had arranged the hotel said, "Oh, you're going to the camp in Masai Mara," and that's where I met my Kenyan husband to be. Yeah.
So how was that encounter when you met him and yet you're in Kenya with your Danish husband? How was that for you?
It's a very odd feeling because I never, if you had asked me 1 minute before I arrived at that camp and you had said you will meet your future Kenyan husband, I would have not believed you. I would have said, what is wrong? I'm here with my Danish husband.
And you were very happy.
I was very happy, and that's why it's still till this day unbelievable what happened. Even I don't know, lightning, whatever. It was just God. I don't know. Something happened, and it affected my life for the next 10 years.
Did you hit it off immediately with your Kenyan husband, or how was it for you to transition from your husband to this new found love?
You see, what happened was he was serving us. And my husband went to talk to other tourists and watch a football game that was playing that evening. And then I said and asked David, because I was attracted to this Maasai culture, so I wanted to know everything about it. And that's why I am, when I go to travel, see other countries, I want to know everything about that place I'm visiting. So I asked him, "Are you a Maasai?" And he said, yes, he was. So I said, tell me about this culture. And he said, yes, I will tell you everything. And so we talked so good together. And it was like when eyes met, the smile, I was just like, whoa, what is happening here? And so we only stayed there for 3 days and 2 nights. So after that, we left to Nakuru. And after that, again, we left to Amboseli. But we had exchanged our emails, Facebooks, and phone numbers. So we wanted clearly to talk. There was some kind of connection, for me at least.
Yeah.
And today I actually don't know if there was for him or it was just a game or he actually had feelings for me.
At what point did you decide to move on with your Kenyan man and leave your husband for him?
Because after we arrived to Denmark, and this was after we had been there over Christmas, New Year. So after I arrived to Denmark, we started chatting. And in fact, my Danish husband and me had common emails. So I was like, no, this doesn't seem right. This is not fair to my Danish husband. I have to get my own email. And then we started chatting, and those emails got more hot. And he asked me, do you have WhatsApp? And I said, no, actually, we don't use that in Denmark. Today we do, but at that time we didn't do. And then it just became more hot. And I actually wanted to come back to him. And I arranged to come back to him in May. So some months after, I left Kenya.
What were you going to tell your husband you were coming to? Did he even find out about the communication?
I think he had an idea that this was getting more than... And so actually I said to him, I need a vacation. It's because of the Four Seasons in Denmark, and we had our own clinic with 2,500 patients.
Yeah.
So it's very busy at around January, which is one of our winter months, and February also. So I said, I need a vacation. And that was in May. And he said, okay, but you can go. Are you going with your friends? And that is my only lie in my life. That is that one.
You lied to him.
I actually lied to my... and I feel very bad about it till this day. I said, I'm going with some friends to Spain. Because we had traveled a lot in France, so I would want a new country. So I said, okay, and he said, fine. And what happened was, when I landed in Kenya, Nairobi...
You did not go to Spain?
I did not go to Spain. I took a flight. I had arranged everything with time and everything, but there's one problem. From Denmark to Spain, it's only like a 3 to 4 hour flight.
Yeah.
But from Denmark to Kenya, it's like at that time around 14, 15 hours.
So what is your plan?
And I drove with the bus from the flight to the immigration. There, my Danish husband called me and said, I know where you are. You are in Kenya. And I said, yes, I'm sorry. And he said, you take that flight you came with back to Denmark. And I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. But of course I met David.
Before you went back?
Before I met David, before I went back to Denmark, and I had to book a new ticket.
Of course.
And because I didn't have any return ticket. So only a week after, but now I was to go with the same flight back. So we went out, and we talked, and we were in the car, and things happened there in the airport.
Charlotte.
Yes.
All this time your husband is expecting you to go back to Denmark.
Yes.
Here
but
you
I was in love. Let me tell you, I was in this love that has been like addicted to me. Like I cannot. I will love him always.
Even now, after all these things.
Yes.
Whoa. So take us back to Denmark. What are you going to tell your husband when you go back to Denmark?
I came back to Denmark,
yeah.
And my husband said, why did you do this? And I said, I'm very sorry. Even I don't know myself, because I could never do that. And I have a respect, and we had trust. I had never, my Danish husband, I've never feared anything, never mistrust, never disrespect or anything. There was never anything like here with David where, are you sure you're going there, or are you calling me? I never needed to do that, and he never needed to do that. So after that, of course, he also became suspicious. What is this doing?
Yeah.
And he actually said to me at one point, I can give you 3 months. You go there, you find out what this is.
He was willing to do that.
He was willing to. I told you, love can actually, like I have forgiven David his cheating. He forgave me that I went there and was actually willing, because he didn't believe David loved me. So he was sure that I was going to come back and I would realize the same things that he has realized.
Yeah.
Yes. yes.
So did you take up on that offer?
I did.
No. And so you came to Kenya?
I came to Kenya many times, actually, because I actually did more than that 3 months he had asked me to take. I was saying to him, I need more time. So actually, I kept coming. Going back, working, coming back, going back, working, coming back. So I've even known in immigration, I think, for all those times I have been coming. And the relationship was like, I never met David's family when I came here. All this
time, yeah.
For 3 years, I never knew. I thought I had talked to somebody on the phone, but it was people who had played his relatives. So actually, because he said he was supposed to marry a Maasai woman, and he was not allowed to have me, and he will be fined a lot of money, and things I later was told was not true.
It's not true. Yeah.
It's not true at all, and so I was very devastated. But you see, all these things that happened for 3 years, never got to know before a certain thing happened in 2016, January, where David said to me, let's buy a car, because we had rented cars every time I was in Kenya to take us around. And he said, let's do that. And I said, oh, yeah, I was thinking, yes. It could be a good idea, save those money for rent, and then we have our own car forever, or till it doesn't work. And we did, and I went to buy a car. And that week where I went to buy, and we looked for cars until the payment was done from my bank in Denmark, and he was like distant somehow. I was like beginning to think, what is this? How come a car is so important? And we don't spend time. It was like we didn't spend time together. We were together, but it was like he was not actually there mentally. He was just talking about this car. So I had to go back again and work. I was still not have left my job in Denmark.
And you were still married to your Danish husband?
I was divorced at that time, but I was still working in the clinic.
Okay.
So what happened was, 1 month after, suddenly when I texted him on WhatsApp, called him, it was not going through. It was like dead, everything. I was blocked on Facebook. I was blocked from everything, and I was like, God, what is this, Charlotte? How can he do that? We bought a car. He was there. He wanted to commit to me. What is happening? I couldn't understand it, and I talked to my Danish family and friends, and they said, forget about it, Charlotte. This Toyota Isis, you bought 1 million. Forget about those money. You must have to regain them some other ways. But forget about it. How will you find a Kenyan man between 50 million Kenyans?
It's difficult.
But, I have this inside me. I was totally in love with this guy. I couldn't give up. I had to know from himself, why did you do this to me? How could you treat me like that? I did everything for us. At that time, I think we had also traveled, that we later traveled, Dubai, Egypt, South Africa, Zanzibar twice. So I was just like, I have done everything for you. How can you leave me like that hanging? Not even saying, he could at least have texted me, I'm not loving you, or it was a mistake, I will return the car, I will sell it, I will send the money back to you in Denmark. And I didn't get any explanation, and I was looking for it.
Total silence.
Total silence. And I tried. I started searching in Facebook for, I'm good in visualizing where I was when I bought the car, who he had talked to. I knew the hotels we had stayed in, Remember Hotel. I asked them, do you know what he talked about when he was outside? I tried to find things I could remember.
Did you know any of his friends?
No. So only I didn't know him, but only that guy that was with me the first time I landed in Kenya, and I went back with the flight, said hi to him, but never any numbers, never anything I could use. what happened was that I said to myself, okay, in our clinic we have 2 Kenyan people, an old Kenyan man. I don't want to interfere with him in that situation, and a Kenyan female nurse. And I said to her, oh, can you help me? And she said, yes, I can actually think I can do, because my brother was killed, and I used an investigator to find out how he was killed.
Yeah.
So I will give you his number. I will tell him myself about your story, and I will arrange that he will be there. You call him up tonight, and you talk to him if he can do it. And I called him up that same night, and I remember I was walking outside my house back and forth like that, talking to him, and he understood me fully. And I said, but I cannot pay like a new car to regain a car. That will be a waste of money and time. But if you can help me and be reasonable, I will help you. I would like you help me to find the car, so at least I can come back, sell it, go back to my country, and David can go on living, and I can go on living.
So at this point you had decided to cut ties with him, you just wanted your property back?
He had cut the ties. I had not cut the ties.
You still wanted it?
Yes, I was still in WhatsApp, and my phone was still open for any communication. And so what happened was, he called me 3 weeks after. I had told him everything, because there was only 2 things David had told me that was right. That was his name, and that was which village he was. That was the only 2 things, because he was not single, as I had asked him.
Oh no.
He has a Kenyan woman he was living with for those 3 years. So when I was here, he was with me, and when I was in Denmark, he was with her. Yeah.
No. Do they have kids?
Yes, 1 daughter. And then he had the daughter in the village also.
So you find out that this man has been lying to you. What's your next step?
I actually, the investigator gave me like a big book of papers where he said to me, Charlotte, you did good. You investigated good yourself. This is what I found out. And he could say no to everything except his name. And he's a Kikuyu man. His mother and father are Kikuyu. And he had a Kenyan woman also. So then he said, pack your suitcase, come to Kenya, I will pick you in the airport. Because at that time they had found David, and he didn't want to hand over the car. So they said, okay, then we have to arrest you. So he was arrested at Kazani police station, or taken there. And I came, and now the investigator said, now he will open up all his numbers, because he will want to chat with you now. But you are not allowed to by us. And I was like, but when he started opening those texts and started writing me, I felt I had to talk to him. I texted back, but I never sent it, because they had forbidden me to do it. And Sunday they arranged, we are going to the police station. You will meet him there, and there you will be allowed to ask him all the questions you want. And I did. And he was there with his whole family, and I was alone Musungu with my investigator, and then he had appointed a lawyer for me to represent me.
Yeah.
And we were there from Monday to Friday, and he didn't want to hand over the car and the keys.
Was the car in his name?
The car was not even transferred. It was supposed to be in my name, but we never got to do that, because he took the car.
Before all this was processed?
Yes.
Okay.
So if I had come there, we would have done that. But because he took it, so after 1 month took it, then it was still in the company's name. But there was no doubt. Police investigated and saw, and the investigator proved, the bills, everything was paid by me from my Danish bank. I even had taken photos with me and David in the car with the car dealer. And so there was no doubt. Yeah. Everybody said, yes, of course it's your car, Charlotte. There is no doubt. So he still didn't want to hand it over. And then the police said, okay, then we need to take fingerprints of you, David. And I felt very bad, because I loved this man. And I never wanted, this is not a revenge. Even to talk about it with you is not a revenge for me at all.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it is to prevent other women to be in this situation, whether they're Musungus, Chinese, whatever. Any woman to think about this kind of addicted love where you somehow are manipulated to believe things. You in your mind thinks, there is something that is not adding up. You know, like we didn't stay at his place. Every time I came, we had to stay in hotels and like that. It was not like my mind couldn't think that something was wrong.
Did you ever ask him why this was the case, that he would never?
Yeah, but he came with a lot of stories and now he was working also a lot, you know, so it was not that long time that he was supposed to be. I later realized they lived in Mwiki, changed from a bedsitter to one bedroom, and I have supported a lot of women, even her and that kid, because my money also went. You know, he was jobless at that time.
He quit his job.
He quit his job the year before all this. So I have paid, and I have done a lot of good things in Kenya for a lot of people with my money without
Out of the kindness of your heart. This is a man you left your husband for.
Exactly.
And then you come to Kenya and find out all these lies.
Yeah.
What did you do next? What was your next step, going forward, knowing all these facts?
My next step was, the court case was supposed to be in August.
Yeah.
And in Denmark, we have summer vacation, July and August.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is bad. It will ruin my summer holiday also. And let me see if we can get this court case before. Mm-hmm. And actually, then he started texting me, now he had opened his phone and he said, I will repent, I will never do it again, I love you, even we can marry. And there was not the thing he didn't want to do in the world if I just withdraw that case. And even the police at the Kasani police station called me and texted me in WhatsApp, Charlotte, come to Kenya because this is serious for David. Maybe he can get 2 years in prison for this. And I loved him. I didn't want him to go to prison or anything. I didn't want to hurt him. I'm not a person that puts people anywhere. I'm coming from a country where we are very free, very tolerant. We accept everything, as long as you are inside the law.
And so you forgave him.
I forgave him, and I believed him when he said he wanted to marry me now, and I believed that this was. He had changed. He had learned by, normally you learn by your mistakes as a person. The fact was he didn't learn by the mistakes, but I was hoping that. And so I came to Kenya, withdraw the case, went up, and I was actually shocked because I think there was 200 people in that court case, and I was the only Musungu there standing and withdrawing the case. And the judge said to me, now, it's so good. What will you say to Charlotte? Mm-hmm. She asked David. Oh, I love her. And they were laughing, even in the court they were laughing. And then he said, yes, and I will invite the judge to come to our wedding. And I was just like, whoa.
Is this what you wanted to hear?
Yes, I wanted to hear that. But even the judge was laughing because that is not possible. And it's not possible to be married like in a few days.
Yeah.
And it never happened. But from that moment, everything was open. Now I saw his mother. Now I saw the mother and father was not married. They were divorced. That I knew he didn't have. He had told me he had a sister. Because he had got money through all this time from me. I sent in Western Union, MoneyGram, Ria, all of them. Mm-hmm. Even I at some time had sent so much money, I was blocked from them because they said, what is going on? Are you funding something in Kenya?
Goodness.
So I had to show that pictures of him and me together and all this. So they accepted.
Do you know how much money you have spent on him so far? Maybe a rough figure.
Not less than 20 million. Probably above.
20 million Kenya shillings?
Yeah, for our life, 10 years together. Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
And so you met his real family. How were they relating with you? Did they accept you?
You know, the mother knew. Everybody it has spread like rumors, you know, like it's a big family.
Yeah.
And it has run like fire in the family. And Musungu has arrested David, and Musungu has arrested David. But, you know, when the cousins who were at the Kasani police station heard the story and actually know and heard that it's not the Musungu, it's David who took this car.
Yeah.
And she has paid for it, and it's stealing. Then they had to think otherwise. And but I got to know the mother, and she was very happy. You know, I'd saved her son, and I said, yes, why? I love him. Of course I will. And so they were very nice to me at that moment, because now I had saved the son and the son of the village and everything. So they were good to me. And I thought we were on the right path for our future. And he had promised me wedding, but still no wedding. But
This
I thought
is the
it would
second
come.
time, yeah.
It kept on that it would be like that, and I needed to get some papers, and they needed to be translated and things too. But then all the things, I still had to go back to Denmark, you know, to work. And I said to him, we have to find out, are we staying in Kenya or are we going to Denmark? Because this traveling back and forth is very difficult, and it's cost me money, a lot of money. I had to pay visa tickets back and forth all the time. But it was like, oh, it's difficult for you maybe to get a job here, Charlotte. And there was a lot of excuses. And you know, it cost a lot of money to live here in Kenya. And I was like,
But who's complaining?
Yes, exactly. So I think he enjoyed that I was coming there as a supporter or ATNM. And when I was back in Denmark, he had the women in the clubs and the student girls and had the life he wanted to live, maybe.
When you were away?
Yeah, because the Kenyan woman also told me, because she got to talk to me. She was allowed to talk to me in the police station at Kasani. So she asked me, and I'd ask her about the relationship. And she actually knew about me before I did about her. Because she had seen that when he blocked me, I'm blocked from WhatsApp, I'm blocked from calling him. But somehow my text messages, the SMS, has gone through to his phone. And she had looked at them, and then she had realized, God, he has a Musungu woman. And even she had asked the wife of one of the cousins that has the same age, has asked, where does David, he's jobless, how can he buy, does this car come? Yeah, and where does this car come from? And since he had the car from me, he has been starting cheating on her also, being out in clubs and having, you know, money from me. Now he could entertain women and student girls there.
Yeah.
So she was also feeling pain about this car and like that. And but yeah, I got to ask her those questions, and I've never talked to her since. But the one from the village I talked to...
he has another wife in the village.
He had one that he has a 17, 18-year-old daughter with, that he also cheated when they were together.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, it was like I thought, now this is past. And I believe it must be past. But after me, there still came other women in, And he bribed our security where we lived, because we lived at Kasani, then we moved to Kimbu, then we moved from Kimbu to Kiambu, then we moved another place in Kiambu. We had in a very nice house with 4 bedrooms, and still there he cheated me. And I was hoping every time that he would stop doing that, because now we had a new place to start life together. So why misuse our home place, our family place? I couldn't understand.
At what point did this relationship take a turn for the worse? Because even after all these things he's doing to you, you're still forgiving him and giving him more chances.
Yes.
At what point did you find out that this has become too much for you? What happened?
In Georgia, where he has a OB also, to have gone maybe to 10 years to prison because of assaulting me so much. But there I had to bail him out for 80,000 Kenyan shillings. Because I loved him. I bailed him out.
No.
He hadn't done that, he would have gone. Because the doctors, all the examination, everything was proven. So there was no way he could have got out there.
Is this the only time he did this?
No, he actually did it many times. And I think maybe I should have left the first time he did it. Maybe he thought I accepted those beatings somehow, because I didn't leave after the first time. But again, the love was addicted, you know, like drug people need their drug that can even kill their mother for it. I was addicted to his love. I was loving him so much I could not even see anybody else. Other people said to me, "Oh, Charlotte, I would never do that to you if you were my wife. I will marry you tomorrow." And I was like, I cannot see.
My eyes are only
My eyes are only there. Forget about saying anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it was very painful that he was bad to me, because I stopped my life. I feel not it's wasted, because you also, again, you learn by mistakes, but I wasted many years.
10 years.
10 years being beaten, cheated, lied to. I wasted a lot of money that it will take me forever to gain.
Recover, yeah.
Yes. And that's why I, at that time even thought, oh, let me write a book, let me warn other women, don't come in this situation, don't do what I did, don't keep forgiving, don't be addicted in any way. Get out, help others, try to put your mindset in another perspective. So, but I kept loving him. But this Christmas, I was like, this was it. Now I wanted to see real things. I wanted to see if this marriage was going to happen.
Yeah.
I had left Denmark, where we do a lot about Christmas. On the 23rd, I arrived to find him in Kenwood Club with other women.
Did you expect?
And I came after traveling with my winter clothes, everything, in winter dress, whatever. And then he was just there and he ran away. And I spent the 23rd that night alone. The 24th, which is our Christmas big day. The 25th, we also have Christmas like you, and even the 26th. So for me, it was my whole Christmas was ruined.
Just by yourself?
By myself, with nothing. I had went out to buy food for 9,000 Kenyan shillings. He destroyed everything. On 25th, he said to me, "Charlotte, it's very shameful. We need to go to the village now for Christmas." And I was like, okay, what am I going as? Because as I saw you in Kenwood with other women, what am I? You bring me to the village as what?
Who? Yeah.
Yes. And he said, "Oh, of course, are you stupid?" As my wife, as his wife. Okay, I said, okay. And I used 40,000 for that Christmas in that village. For goats, for meat, for sugar, flour, for everything, you know, transport, whatever, soda for all the kids, for his brothers, nothing. It was just like I was nothing. I was just money. So I just felt bad. But then at Christmas, he suddenly, the mother said, "Oh, maybe you should leave each other and he gets another wife." And
his own mother told you that?
Yes.
That you should leave her son?
Yeah, and normally she likes me, you know, because I have done a lot of things for her. I took her to hospital, medicine, everything. I helped the brothers, I helped the cousins. They sent me some money, bring expensive perfume from Denmark, like that. I have done a lot of things for that family. And paid even, there's so many things. Balance for title deeds, everything. I was promised, you will get it back. Nothing.
Till this day?
Till this day. nothing. So I just said to myself, what lost is lost. But I still love David.
Even
and I
now,
wish,
Charlotte.
even now, and if he would come back and he would say, I'm truly changed. I love you. I want you.
You would still give him a
I
chance.
would do it, yeah. But now, 1 month ago, he left to Mombasa. And he didn't call me. He didn't care. And I actually came back to Kenya. I was alone in Kenya. Just some weeks ago, I was alone. I came back. He never came back when he heard. Then I left again after a few days because I saw, oh, he's not coming back from Mombasa. There must be women there. That is more interesting. So I left again, and one of his best friends said to him, now Charlotte has left to Denmark. He was a little bit shocked, but he has still not come yet back.
Are you in communication?
And then yes, on and off, because there can go days where he don't bother about me. When I call him, he has never picked the call for 1 month until the last few days here. And then they are hanged immediately, like there's a woman in the place where he is or something like that. But that I don't have proof for. I asked him, come back. And then he said, yes, if you send me money, I will come back.
So it's
and
all
I'm
about
like,
the
sending money, and you are in Mombasa. How have you stayed in Mombasa 1 month without
the
money? And where do you have this money? It's always me. When you're with me, you never have a single coin. But when you are 1 month in Mombasa, you suddenly have money. And then he said, oh, it's for my family, cousins, whatever. And I said, I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. Because I also know that he also took money from me when I didn't watch. And I was like, David, better tell me when you take money from me than like that. But I tried to change him. I learned him. I teach him a lot of things. Everything he knows, I'm not saying he also knows something from school. And he's very, very good in the life of Kenya. There he's very good in getting women and getting along there. But all the other things I have teach him a lot.
Why are you sharing this story today? What is the one thing you hope to achieve with this?
I hope to achieve and prevent other women, first of all.
Yeah.
And also to tell people that actually I love Kenya. I love the Kenyan people.
Okay.
You have a great country.
Thank you.
I would even love to be here, even if you don't want me. So it's not a black and white thing. It's not revenge. It's nothing. It's actually pure love for my fellow women.
Yeah.
That they don't end up in this situation as me. And that men, also Kenyan men, other men around the world, realize that we women, we go far to have a family, to have a life, to give love. And we are in fact very good at it. And I'm just thinking, why would you, as a loving husband and a wife that loves you so much as I do, have defended you, have taken you out of court twice, has sacrificed her family in Denmark to come and be with you? Why do you do this? Why were you not honest in the beginning, saying, I don't love you, Charlotte. I love the money or the way of your life or whatever he loved.
Yeah.
Say that, we could have lived happily. I could even have stayed happily in my marriage, Danish marriage, today.
Do you regret it? Do you regret leaving your husband for him?
You see, regret doesn't take me anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't take me anywhere. But yes, sometimes I even thought, as much as I love Kenya, maybe I should never have gone to Kenya in the first place, because then I would not be in this situation. But then again, I think God has a way. Maybe his way was for me to tell the story, come out with it, help other people. Maybe do something here in Kenya. Maybe live here in Kenya, even if it was alone or whatever. Maybe there's another story in the story.
That's yet to unfold, you know.
Yeah. But this man, I love him. I do. And I'm not seeking any revenge or anything bad. Not to Kenyans, to him, to anybody, to the family, anything. I just want to be healed. I just want to be loved like I love, because I do love very much. So I just want the same. And I was loved in Denmark, but I left it. So that is pain.
Yeah.
That is a very big pain.
What is the one message you would want him to know from you?
Why? And I love him. Yeah. And he always is in my heart. I'm not sure that I was in his, but I hope somewhere, and I hope he maybe will have difficulty with finding a woman like me again.
Who genuinely loved him.
Yes, yeah. But everything. Even when, people don't look good in this time or this time, love him with everything. Everything.
So if he came back to your life today, even after putting up this video, you would still go back to him?
Yes. I think I would lie if I said no. Yeah. But if it was good for me, maybe that is the question. But I love him.
Well, Charlotte, I hope you do find what you're looking for, and I wish you peace, because that's the most important thing to have within yourself.
Yes.
I hope you heal, you get to heal and find happiness and get the love that you so much yearn for.
Yeah.
That's my prayer for you.
Yeah.
And I'm wishing you the very best from Tuko family, from Kenyans, from everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching this video.
I wish Kenyan all the love. They should just know this love.
Yeah.
That they would be happy.
This is real love.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that, in fact, that was part of, I tried to reach you some years ago. I wanted
you mentioned.
Yeah, I wanted to tell this story. Because I think I have even some Kenyan women and men has admitted, yes, they actually don't know this love. And of course, it's not generally, I'm speaking now, I'm just saying that to go so far for another person that you have not raised, that is just, in fact, somebody you meet, to go that far.
It's true love.
It's true love. And if people feel that and get that and give it, you will go far. Yeah.
I hope he reconsidered. If you're watching this and you are the person we are talking about and you want to reconsider this, try and give it another chance. Well, this is a love that never ends from Charlotte herself.
Yeah.
And Tuko family, if you're there and you're in a relationship with someone you do not love, don't put them through this. It's unfair, it's hurtful, it's not kind. Let's learn to treat people how we want to be treated ourselves.
Yes. Don't put money above love.
No, don't.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Charlotte, thank you so much for trusting us with your story.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy it's out. Best. Maybe it can
help someone.
Be healing for me also. Yeah.
And let's keep in touch. Let's keep talking. And I hope that you mend your ways with him and he changes for you.
Yes.
But if he doesn't, don't force it. It's enough.
No.
There's nothing you're going to listen to.
I know people have said, don't force that love.
Don't force it.
And I'm saying, no, I'm not forcing it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it and to give it.
Well, you're out there and you've heard that she is not going to give up this love. She's still here waiting for you, so. From Tuko family, thank you so much for staying with us. Till the end of the show, my name is Yvonne Kawira. And until next time, bye-bye.